Hello and welcome to the WaltInPA YouTube channel. If you're new around here, my name is Walt, and the PA is short for Pennsylvania because around here the state's just too long and we abbreviate it. So this video is going to be another shout out video. These are something that I've come to really enjoy and look forward to. They're a lot of work, so I can't do them on a weekly basis, but something I hope to do maybe bi-weekly or so. So the downside of this particular video is that I had kind of a buzzkill. So it was off to a great start too. I was having fun, it was a good time, I was recording, I was taking a different route for a change. Everything was great. And then the GoPro started beeping and it was giving me no media errors when there's an SD card in there, and all I have to say is the DJI Osmo Action never gave me this trouble. You could barely hear me sometimes because of the audio blowing out, but hey, it recorded every time. So these videos tend to be a little bit longer than my other content, so we better get started, as if I ramble on before we even kick things off, then, well, who knows how long this thing will wind up. So the first video is an oldie but a goodie. This is one that's, well, I shouldn't say it's old, but it's a couple of weeks old. I watched it a few weeks ago and I kind of forgot about it, and I'm not quite sure why. It was very good. So the content creator is Whit Meza. She's on Instagram. She's also got a growing YouTube community, and she makes really good content. And she does what is called the Wisconsin Rustic Road, and she has a whole series on it. I believe it's the Department of Transportation there has a program where they actively promote the use of these old rustic roads. And you can take a photo at the start of the road where there's like a marker and then submit it, and if you ride on or drive on enough of these roads, you earn some sort of certificate. And the concept behind that, I love it. Here in Pennsylvania we have something similar, but it's for rail trails, and I think it may just be a county thing where they take these old railroad runs and they convert them over to walking trails. And you know, sometimes they're short, sometimes they're long, and they span, you know, multiple towns. And I've seen those marketed before, where, you know, come out and show us your stuff, and you know, you'll get something for your time and effort. But the fact that Wisconsin does this with roads, I thought was great. I mean, it's if Pennsylvania had a program like this, I would absolutely participate in it because it just sounds like so much fun. Now the video, oh man, you have to forgive me. I think it's just titled something along the lines of "I lost my phone on a Wisconsin rustic road." And when you watch the video, you'll see why something like that could happen. These rustic roads are rustic. Some of them are kind of like this, where they look paved and relatively kept up. Other ones are, well, they've seen better days, and then there's some that look like outright dirt roads. And she's cruising along this road, and the bike's bouncing, and the phone's shaking, and eventually it pops right out of the holder, and well, she loses her phone on a Wisconsin rustic road. So you should definitely head on over to Whit Meza's channel. The link for the video will be down below. She produces great content. I really enjoyed that video. I think you'll enjoy it too. She's doing a whole series on these rustic roads. I don't remember how many she said are in the state, but I believe she's on a quest to do most of them, if not all of them. Just really good stuff, so head on over and check it out. the second video in the shout-out series is by SinisterClutch, and it is a review of the Saddleman's Road Sofa Harley Davidson seat. And you know, I know you're probably thinking that would seem kind of strange coming from a naked bike rider. You know, why would you be interested in this review on a Harley product? And the interesting thing there, aside from the fact that I like looking at Harleys, and I think they're cool bikes, I just gravitate more towards the sportier naked bike than I do a cruiser. One of the really interesting things about that video was that prior to purchasing the seat, they allowed him to demo it. So basically the video wasn't a review on the seat that he purchased, it was a review on a seat that was installed on his bike as a demo by the dealer so that he could see if he liked it. That just seems like the strangest thing to me, that a dealer would put an accessory on your bike just to see if you like it. And it's not like they slapped this thing on his bike, they charged him for it, and they say, oh, you know, if you don't like it or you don't return it, it is what it is. Congratulations, you just bought yourself a seat. So it's not like it's not really a demo because he paid for it up front. You know, he talks about after he rides it, after the demo is complete, he'll order what he wants in the match, you know, whatever pattern he wants, whatever color he wants, whatever configuration that he wants. He'll be able to basically order what he wants. And again, the fact that a dealer will allow you to do this just was shocking to me. I mean, I think it's a great thing. I mean, there are plenty of things I would love to have tested before I bought them, and I really like the idea of something like this. Now, I can see why they would do such a thing, though, because when he talks about how much the seat costs, and I believe it was north of $600, I got serious sticker shock for him. I mean, I understand that there's a Harley tax and all, but wow, that's kind of steep for a seat. So it was kind of cool. I didn't know that about Harley, and that's one of the things that I found most interesting about this particular video, was that not only was it done and interesting to watch, it had some good solid information in it that I wasn't aware of. All right, I feel like I got my groove back. In the beginning, I was a little worried, you know, because I was good, I was happy, I was feeling good, I was really feeling it. And then I started having camera problems, and I didn't know if I was gonna get my groove back. But it's here. I'm having a good time. Oh, this is one that I was kind of eager to talk about. This one. This is a video from Mr. McStache. Now, I know Mr. McStache is pretty popular in the community. Anytime anyone does a mail call video, there's always the letter from Mr. McStache with the mustache seeds and the stickers, you know, the big mustache stickers. So, you know, everyone knows him. He's kind of a big name in the community. But I wasn't really familiar with his videos, or, well, his videos. I just hadn't caught one of his videos, and I feel like I was missing out for a while, because I watched a video where he takes a look at the electric bike craze, and this was a fun video to watch. I mean, kind of heartwarming, fun. So the video starts off, and it's zoomed in pretty tight on his face, and then he's talking a little bit, and it pans out a little bit, and what I'm expecting to see is a live wire, but it's not. I don't know what it is. It looks weird. I mean, I'm not a bike aficionado, so I don't know what this thing is. It almost looks like an electric dirt bike. And then the camera pans out a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and that's when you realize it's all trickery. What he's actually standing in front of is a child's electric battery-operated bike. And he hops on this thing, knees in his chest, and roars off across the grass. And from there, it gets even better. So, you know, he goes in the backyard, and you see his granddaughter riding around. And it was just fun to watch because I have 3 daughters. My oldest isn't really interested in motorcycles. I couldn't see her doing something like that. She's 10. But my middle daughter is 4. She's still a little young for an electric bike, I think. But I could totally see her ripping up the yard on a battery-operated motorcycle. She's constantly running around the house, screaming, carrying on like she's riding a horse, or she'll pretend she's riding a motorcycle, and basically she's just sprinting circles around the house. So when I saw Mr. McStache's video, it just, you know, it hit me right in the feels. You know, I could totally relate to that scenario. Instead of a granddaughter, I could see it being my daughter. So it was a really fun video to watch. If you got kids, head on over to Mr. McStache's page. The link will be down below. You'll definitely want to watch that video. It's fun. It'll make you feel good. The next video in my recommended list is going to be from Kaptain Granite, and I believe it's titled something to the effect of "My Neighbors Hate Me, Winter is Coming." Now, the part about "My neighbors hate me," that's kind of weird. You'll have to watch that part. It just strikes me as really strange, not because of what he was doing that got the neighbor's attention, just the fact that the neighbor even came over in the first place. It was just strange. Great example of a busybody, someone just kind of getting involved in something that they've got no business getting involved in. Now, the next part of the video is the one that kind of hooked me, and that was the part where winter is coming, because he discusses a problem that he's going to be facing this winter, and it is pretty much the same problem that I'm going to be facing this winter, and pretty much the same problem that any other motovlogger in a snowy area is going to face come wintertime, and that is, what are we going to do when it turns cold, too cold to ride comfortably, the snow starts falling? You know, what are we going to do for that 2 to 3, maybe 4 month period when riding becomes difficult? Now, I was thinking about buying a project bike, something that I could tinker with. You know, I don't know the first thing about motorcycle mechanics, so it would be a fun learning experience for me. It would be something to keep me busy, and it would give me another toy to play with come springtime. But I don't really have any place to put it. So getting another bike to work on would be a little bit of a challenge. I mean, I think I could make it work, but it would just be a little tricky. So one of the other things that Kaptain Granite mentions is he's thinking about doing a live stream over the winter months, and this is something that I had not considered at all, and I probably won't consider it because I just don't have the following for it. It wouldn't make much sense to do a live stream for 2 people to show up once a week. But I know there are other live streams out there, much like the Dynamite Duo, where they encourage guests to join them for the video feed. So one of the things that I may do, I may wind up kind of using that as my, I don't know, my winter hobby will maybe become dropping in on live streams if they'll allow it, and just kind of getting to know some people and having fun with the hosts of these different channels. So I'm still not sure what I'm going to do, and Kaptain Granite kind of, I don't know, shone the spotlight on the elephant in the room here, that summer is coming to an end. It's going to be fall very soon, and then after that, here in Pennsylvania, it gets pretty chilly. I mean, he's up north, up in, I want to say, the Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire region. But at any rate, you know, he gets a whole lot more snow than I do up there. So the problem's going to be even worse for him. But good video, strange neighbor behavior, and fun to watch and thought-provoking, especially if you're a fellow motovlogger. It will give you something to think about your winter plans. All right, next video, Moto Mengy Snake Road. So this is an interesting video. So Moto Mengy is a Pennsylvania motovlogger. I get the impression he's in like the Berks, Schuylkill County area, just based on where he rides. But he does some really interesting destination rides to places that I wasn't even aware of. You know, he stopped at this like geyser. I didn't know there was a geyser in Pennsylvania, and it has a lot to do with the mine fires as a result of Centralia. Pretty interesting stuff that he checks out. And the video that I wanted to talk about was the one entitled Snake Road. So the other week he was up in the Centralia area. He was checking out the graffiti highway, and I think that the video that he recorded from there generated a comment from one of his viewers or one of his subscribers that told him to check out this other road. So he went back up there to the graffiti highway, recorded another video where he went out and he checked out Snake Road. And with a name like Snake Road, you would expect it to have lots of twists and turns, you know, kind of windy bend back and forth sort of road. So he gets on his Goldwing, he rides out to this road, he finds it, and he starts down it, and it's a little bumpy, a little rough. You know, it's not nice, pristine road, but he's having fun, and the Goldwing's kind of eating up the bumps. He's making it work. And every time he cuts back, he's got this big smile on his face, like he's having the best time ever. And he's kind of laughing and smiling and riding. He gets to the end of the road, and he says, oh, you know, that road wasn't that long, but that was a lot of fun. I want to do it again. So he spins around and he rides it again, like a little kid wanting to go on another ride. And this time he's riding faster because he's gotten a feel for the road, and the smile is even bigger. So it's just this fun, infectious video of a grown man on a Goldwing just having the time of his life. It was a lot of fun to watch. So head on over to the Moto Mengy channel, check out the Snake Road video. I think you'll enjoy it. The next video in the shout-out series is from BoDean52. He's one of the Fireside Chat trio, who I've been following a little more frequently lately now that I've sat through 2 of the Fireside Chats, which I enjoy quite a bit, by the way. They're a lot of fun, and they are very well managed. So they stick to topics, and you know, they get through them relatively quickly. It's you could tell they put time in organizing the show and making sure that they stay on time. But the video that I want to tell you about is titled Motorcycle Old Timer, and BoDean52 sets the stage with this story about how it hasn't been having a good couple of days. We've all been there. You know, he hasn't been able to get out for a ride because it's been rainy. He's got the stresses going on with work. Just things are just they're not the best, and he's a little gloomy as a result. He goes down to the post office, and he winds up meeting this older gentleman who asks about his bike. Asks him, this older gentleman asks him how he's doing. The older guy tells him he's doing great, and you know, he's asking questions about the bike. And then somewhere along the line, they part ways. BoDean52 goes outside, he gets his gear on, he's getting ready to get on the bike, and the older gentleman comes out of the post office. He rides over, and the two of them talk for a good 15-20 minutes. And it was just a really nice, heartwarming story of not taking things for granted, and you know, just realizing that your mood can directly affect others, and you know, you very well could be the sunshine that someone needs to kind of pick up their day. It was just a really heartwarming video. I enjoyed watching it. He tells the story much better than I can, and obviously I'm leaving out a bunch of details because I want you to go over to BoDean52's channel and watch this video for yourself. I don't want to be the Cliff Notes of motovlogs. That would not accomplish the goal of building a community around my motovlog. The next video I'd like to talk about is from MyKelly7, and it's entitled something along the lines of, does my Goldwing Tour DCT make me a motorcycle snob? And I thought this video was pretty interesting because 20 years ago, if you would have asked me that question, I probably would have told you yes. Because what is the fun in riding a motorcycle if you can't shift up and down the gears? I mean, just an automatic's got to suck all the fun out of it, right? I mean, I thought the same thing about cars. My first car was a manual transmission. My second car was a manual transmission. My girlfriend, or my now wife, had several cars with manual transmissions. That's kind of what we did. We just enjoy, and you know, we didn't drive sports cars or anything like that, but you know, we preferred manual transmissions. So it would only make sense that I would also prefer a manual transmission in a motorcycle. And that was kind of my mindset when I was younger. But as I get older, I start to realize that it's much simpler than that, in that you like what you like. If you like riding a Goldwing with a automatic transmission, more power to you. I mean, enjoy it. There are definitely times, especially when I'm sitting in stop-and-go traffic, when I really wish I didn't have to keep pulling in that clutch lever and screwing around with the shifter so that I could move 10 feet and stop. So I can definitely see where there would be benefits to an automatic, and I can see why guys would really enjoy them. And, you know, when it really comes down to it, I think throwing around that snob word, just someone's way of slightly polite in insulting you. I mean, look at other things in life, right? I enjoy coffee. I did a whole video recently on going to the coffee shop, picking up coffee, and talking about how I preferred freshly roasted small batch coffee. Does the fact that I drink small batch coffee make me a coffee snob? I mean, I don't know that I would want to go back to regular coffee, but I don't think that makes me a coffee snob. Same thing for bourbon. I love bourbon. I shouldn't say I love bourbon. That makes it sound like I have a problem. I enjoy bourbon, especially with a cigar. Now, I won't drink 80 proof Wild Turkey or 80 proof Old Granddad or bottom shelf Jim Beam. It's not because I'm a snob. It's just because this stuff tastes terrible. And it's not a price issue either. I mean, because, you know, all those three bourbons that I just mentioned, I mean, what do they cost? $14, $15 a bottle? I am a big fan of Evan Williams Bottled in Bond at $17 a bottle. So it's not an issue of I'm too good for this, and or you know, that is beneath me. I'm more accustomed to this expensive stuff. That isn't it at all. So I think it's just this interesting thing where if someone doesn't agree, they start slapping that snob label on people. You know, you like what you like. Some guys like cruisers, other guys like naked bikes. Some guys like race-ready sport bikes. Some guys like automatic transmissions. It is what it is. Just enjoy yourself. So it's an interesting video. You should definitely head over to MyKelly7's YouTube channel. Check out the video. I'm trying to be smooth in my transitions here. So head over to MyKelly7's channel. Check out his video on if liking the Goldwing Tour DCT makes him a cigar snob. Does it make him a cigar snob? Does it make him a motorcycle snob? Man, the fun thing about doing these videos is they're just fun. I like just having fun and talking about other people's videos. Hopefully you enjoy it as much as I do, because I don't know, I'd be gutted to hear that you're over there cringing the fact that I'm having such a grand old time talking about everyone else's content. Make some good content of your own, Walt. Alright, we're coming down the home stretch now. No, I'm not driving. Kelly 7, MisplacedMotoVlogger. Oh man, last one. We're running out of battery, so the timing's probably good on this one. So this video actually I watched today. It was probably the most recent video I watched. It was pretty interesting. So as I said, it's MisplacedMotoVlogger, and he's doing a video entitled Motorcycle Brand Hate, and basically he's talking about this this unnecessary disconnect or division between Harley riders and sport bike riders. And he touches on kind of an interesting topic, because when I decided I was going to get back into riding motorcycles, one of the first things I did was I jumped on my personal Facebook page and I reached out to people that I knew. You know, I put a post out there asking, hey, I'm looking at buying a bike. It's been years. Does anyone have any information on MSF courses? Because at the time, COVID had everything shut down. So I was trying to get an idea of who might be offering courses and when. And in addition to that, I was asking if anyone had worked with a particular dealer. And the feedback was awesome. I had people jumping in that I hadn't talked to in a long time, saying like, hey, what kind of bike you getting? Oh, check out my bike. And you know, they're posting pictures of their bikes. And then as soon as I said like, oh, you know, I'm looking at getting a Honda CB650F or maybe a Yamaha MT-07, things got weird. Immediately I started hearing things like, oh, why are you going to get one of those? People do stupid things on those bikes. Get yourself a cruiser so you don't kill yourself. And hearing things, you know, there was just really weird, just a really weird division where there was a clear divide between the sport bike riders and the cruiser guys. And then things got quiet. Like all of a sudden no one wanted to talk to anyone anymore, because now all of a sudden it wasn't about riding anymore. It turned into about what bike's best. And you know, these mini little backhanded comments started coming out, and I couldn't believe it. I was just annoyed by the whole thing. Kind of disgusted by it, actually. Obviously I don't ride a cruiser. I've got nothing against guys that ride cruisers. I like looking at cruisers. In the handful that I've ridden, the very small few that I've ridden, they just weren't for me. I didn't like the forward foot position. I didn't like how relaxed and laid back they were. I much preferred what was once called a standard, which is, I think, is how these naked bikes are set up, where you know, you don't have a really aggressive position on the bike. It's a little more neutral. You're sitting up a little higher. Your feet aren't pitched so far back. And it's just what I prefer. I don't think it's the best. I don't argue with people over why they should get a naked bike or a sport bike or a cruiser or whatever. And I just don't really understand the whole division. You know, riders are riders. Shouldn't we all support one another and get away from those stereotypes? Man, I was feeling so good. I was happy, I was bubbly, I was in a good mood. And then this one comes up, and I can feel my mood get sucked down. That's alright though, I'm still having a good time. It's a little dark through here. I had to mess with my helmet. I thought my sun shield was down, but no, it's just kind of dark back there under all that tree cover. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is going to do it. Well, normally this is where the video would end and I'd be kind of riding off into the sunset, but as you can see, the video didn't end. So here I am, sitting out on my deck. I got myself a cigar, got myself a nice little glass of bourbon. I just got in from a really nice motorcycle ride down through Green Lane Park. Just had a really good time recording this shout out video. I sit down, I grab my phone, start pulling up YouTube, and what do I see? I get a nomination from NevermoreMoto for the 7 questions motorcycle challenge. And this is a little bit of a problem. It's a little bit of a problem because I was nominated at the end of last week by Quiet Man Rides, and the video is scheduled to post tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. And I feel terrible because I've got no way of editing the video to throw a mention in there because it's all done. It's packed up, it's uploaded, it's scheduled. So I feel terrible that that I wasn't able to include NevermoreMoto in that 7 questions video. So what we're going to do is we're just going to tackle in another 9th video recommendation. So head on over to NevermoreMoto's YouTube channel and check out his post entitled 7 motorcycle questions, where he nominates me to answer questions. And the really cool thing about these videos, one of the things that I like most about them, is it gives you some understanding of the person behind the camera. You feel like you get to know that individual just a little bit better. It goes a little more in depth than just kind of riding down the road talking about the last trip you took. Instead, you get to peek behind the curtain and see what these motovloggers are all about. And that's one of the things I like most about these videos. So head on over to NevermoreMoto and check out the video entitled 7 Motorcycle Questions. The link will be down below. I'll also include a card up there. So make me feel a little less bad shooing away bugs, and show him a little love. Check out his video, leave a comment, let him know Walt sent you. And if you're out there, NevermoreMoto, my apologies for getting that so late. Although I would love to incorporate you into the video that I recorded, but as I said, it's just too late. So now we can really end this video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is going to do it for the My Motovlog. Oh man, what did I even call this thing? A motovlog about your motovlogs. I think it's going to do it for this episode of the Shout Out Show. I think, you know what, that name just came off the top of my head, and I think I like it better than a motovlog about your motovlog. The WaltInPA Shout-Out Show. I'm sure I'm robbing that from someone. I just don't know who or where I would have heard that from. Comment below. Should it continue to be a motovlog about your motovlogs, or should it be WaltInPA Shout-Out Show? So, thank you for watching this video. I realize it got a little long-winded, but I enjoy doing these shout-out videos, and I feel like I should get a little slack. You know, you should cut me a little slack running long on these because, well, I'm trying to do good and hype up other people's videos. Not necessarily hype them up, just kind of bring them to your attention if you haven't watched them yet. So, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click the subscribe button. If you enjoyed it a whole lot, you can click on that bell notification, and that will give you an alert anytime I upload something new to the channel. So, thank you for watching, stay safe, and I will catch you in the next one.